So Iran is chairing the United Nations Forum today on Human Rights. Yes, that is correct. A UN report has accused the Iranian government of executing people at, quote, an alarming rate, a 30% spike compared to the same time last year. Iran is also a supporter of Hamas, whose attacks on Israel triggered the war that is raging right now in the Middle East. And the Pentagon says Iran's proxies have launched attacks targeting U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria more than 24 times, 28 times, General Ryder just told us, since October the 17th, okay? The military disrupted most of these, but some service members had minor injuries, and an American contractor died of a heart attack while he was sheltering in place. Let's bring in Masih Alinejad, an Iranian-American journalist and activist. Masih, it's always good to have you with us. Welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
You know, I want to start with what's happening here at home. We heard from Christopher Wray, the FBI director, yesterday, that they believe that there is an elevated threat to Americans, and he mentioned you in that. He said, we have already seen an American journalist who was targeted by Hamas on her front doorstep by a man with an automatic rifle. So he's speaking out. He's saying you are an example of what can happen here. They have already proven that they will come here, Masih.
Of course, I have been warning for years and years. Look, Martha, I'm not even shocked, not surprised that when attacks happen when the terrorist attacks on Israeli civilians happen, Khamenei himself and Ismail Haniyeh, they were not even shy to say that we were together. So, of course, Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Republic, they are united, and that was a plan for them to attack Israeli civilians and get all the democratic countries united against Israel. They are against normalization between Israel and Arab countries. So what is actually sad that for years and years we have been warning about the danger of Islamic Republic, and now what we see is that these terrorists are attacking democracy, not just people in the Middle East, but they are a danger and threats to Americans, to Europeans, to all who care about humanity, who care about freedom.
This is a piece of sound from the UN opening remarks from Iran Ambassador Ali Bahraini. And here's what was said. Watch this.
Sure.
Every society possesses capabilities and potentials that complement the capacities and possibilities of other nations. The youth, women and girls within these communities must be at the heart of planning for securing the future.
Youth, women and girls must be at the heart of the planning, he says. Masih, what do you say to that?
Look, first of all, I have to say that I don't believe anything that dictators are trying to say, but I'm not angry with them. I am angry with democratic countries actually allowing them, giving them platform. Today that we are talking here, Martha, the Islamic Republic now is like one of the leader chairing Human Rights Council at the United Nations. It means that the United Nations become a place to united dictators, and this is beyond sad. The Islamic Republic funds Hamas and Hezbollah. The Islamic Republic send drones to Putin to kill innocent Ukrainians. They're sending killers on U.S. soil, not only targeting me, they targeted the U.S. officials. They're targeting American citizens on U.S. soil. And I believe that the U.S. government must criminalize transnational repression and must call its own allies to designate Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization. Recently, Khamenei's actually officials at the United Nations in New York, they threaten America. They are behind this war.
Yeah, and the UN refuses to recognize Hamas as a terrorist organization or that Hamas was behind the October 7th attacks, and to call for the release as a united body of those hostages, which ought to be pretty easy for them to say. Masih, thank you very much. It's always good to see you. Masih Alinejad joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always good to see you, Masih.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.